welcome to another episode of the Chaos Chronicles.
Navigating the randomness.
I'm Jess.
I'm Connie.
And today we are hopping back into Eclipse.
Yes, indeed. There has been so much going on, but before we get too deep into that, just a reminder, you can find us at all of our social medias. They are linked in the description below. At the time of this viewing, TikTok may or may not be accessible in the US, so please just hop on over to our other social medias, hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get alerted of our other content. We do have quite a few playlists, and for those who are regular listeners, I'm not going to go through the whole spiel because what are the odds you're tuning in to the series at this point?
Probably not.
Probably not. But if you don't know, check out our YouTube. It's got the exclusive movie reactions to Twilight and New Moon, as well as a breakdown that Jess has put together between our Who Knows What Wednesday episodes and our book reviews.
Yes.
Speaking of book reviews, I'm going to give you the 15-second summary of where we're at thus far. Edward sucks. Bella sucks. Jasper's got a cool backstory. Bite, bite, scar, scar, chompy, chompy. There we go. Yeah, now we're just learning that there is a army of newborns in Seattle, and oh no, what do we do?
Yep. That was a great
I thought it was
summary.
apt.
I love it. All right. So
you almost got bite, bite, chomp, chomp sneaking up on her like that. Him like that.
Ruby, go lay down. Go get a toy. Go get a toy. Go get a toy. Okay, whatever. Chapter 14 is Declaration. Alice tells Dear God. Alice tells Bella that the party is still on. The invites had been sent. Bella already bought her present. There was no reason to not have it. All Bella has to do is show up. Bella tells her a party isn't appropriate given what's going on. Alice points out that she is graduating from high school for the first time. She doesn't get to be human again. This is once in a lifetime. I forgot before we get too far. I want to show off what Connie's cousin gave me as a present. It says, Team Charlie.
Team Charlie. I love it. Wait, does he have his hand on his gun in that picture?
I think so.
No, desk. Wait, gun and desk?
In pocket.
Oh, truck. Is he leaning against the truck?
He's by the truck, I think. Yeah.
Nice. Yes, as you guys can probably tell by this point, we are so not Team Edward, Bella, or Jacob. We're Team Charlie.
Love Charlie.
Love Charlie. And Charlie is going to make a fun little appearance in chapter 15. We'll be doing 14 and 15 today. I don't remember if we said that.
Oh,
I
don't know.
You're
It's in
here.
the title.
It's in the title.
You know why you're here.
You'll figure it out. We trust you to use context clues. You can do it, internet. All right. So, wait, where are we?
Yes,
yes, the graduation party.
Yes. So Alice tells her that there are just a few things they need to get in order. Edward answers, saying Jasper believes that they could use some help. Tanya wasn't their only choice. Carlisle is tracking down a few old friends, and Jasper is trying to find Peter and Charlotte. He's also considering Maria, but no one really wants Southerners involved. But it shouldn't be hard to convince others to help. No one really wants the Volturi to come around here. These friends won't be vegetarian, though. Alice reassures Bella that everything will be fine. Jasper will teach them a few courses for eliminating newborns, and they'll be leaving in a week. Bella tells them she could help. Alice calmly told her that would not be helpful because there isn't enough time to make her be helpful. She wouldn't be good in a fight. Bella would be a target, and Edward would get hurt trying to protect her. Bella knew that she was right, and Edward relaxed. Edward reminds her not because she's afraid. He's not going to turn her when she's afraid. Alice changes the subject and says she hates last-minute cancellations. Only 65 people will be coming to the party. Renee had canceled. Alice was trying to surprise her, but something went wrong, and Bella will have a message when she gets home. When Bella gets home, she listens to Renee's message. Phil had an accident and broke his thigh bone playing baseball.
Femur?
I'm assuming the femur. That is impressive if you busted your femur playing baseball?
I feel like you'd have to have one of those, batting practice pitching machines, like cranked at supersonic speed, like malfunction, lawsuit, and then like shot at your leg from like 15 feet away.
Even still, though.
I mean, those things can come out over 100 miles an hour.
I know, but like,
I mean, it's the femur.
that's the strongest bone in your body.
Well, let's also remember it's Renee. Do we trust her to have accurate information?
No, because you know where my medic brain goes. I'm like, a fracture while playing baseball. I'm thinking a tib fib fracture, which is the lower half of your leg. Because
Or
that's pretty
arms,
darn common.
shoulder, wrist, all of the other
Yeah.
things. We just had a whole conversation about shoulders the other day.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of parts to your shoulder. The more you
It's a
know.
lot. And it sucks when you get injured.
Yes, it is. Well, one nice little full circle moment from that.
Hmm. Yeah. So, anyways, who cares?
It's Renee. We just pick it apart because we are not Team Renee.
No, Renee apologizes, but she can't leave Phil alone. Bella sighs and tells Edward, well, that's one person she doesn't have to worry about getting killed this week.
What a positive outlook.
Bella called Renee back to tell her she wasn't disappointed, mad, or hurt, and tell Phil to get well soon. After she gets off the phone, Edward tells her that Carlisle, Esme, Rosalie, and he will be going hunting after school. They'll stay close, but Alice, Jasper, and Emmett will be here to keep her safe. Bella is upset that she needs a babysitter. Jasper will be boring, and Emmett will try to make things fun.
Okay, you know what this is giving the vibes of? It's like the whole thing where, like, the ugly duckling story where the eggs get switched around.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like Bella is a pigeon that somehow ended up in a crocodile nest. And she's like, I don't need a babysitter. And the rest of the group is like,
But you do.
you do. Not only are you dumb, you're danger prone, and you're basically a glorified chicken dinner.
Yeah, but Bella comes up with an idea.
Is it a good one?
She hasn't been to La Push in a while. If she needs a babysitter, well, she'd be safe enough there. Edward agrees. And I know you're making that face because you know what's coming. You and I both know what's coming. Honestly, it probably would have been best for me to record my reaction to chapter 14 instead of 15.
Probably.
Because I was at work when I was reading chapter 14 and everybody there was just like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay.
There's stupid people here. It's a problem. You're a first responder. That could mean any time at any given point during your shift.
Pretty much. Yeah, so Bella asks if he's already thirsty. Edward isn't, but he wants to be as strong as possible. Human blood would make them the strongest, but only fractionally, but they won't change who they are. That's why newborns are so strong. They're full of human blood. Their own blood is reacting to the change, and it takes about a year for that strength to wane. Quote, how strong will I be? He grinned. Stronger than I am. Stronger than Emmett? The grin got bigger. Yes, do me a favor and challenge him to an arm wrestling match. It would be a good experience for him. End quote.
Okay, that's the one part where I identify with Bella, because if I was in that situation, oh, abso-friggin-lutely.
Hell yeah.
I'd be like, all right, man, I'm gonna pick you up. See how you like being manhandled. And not in a fun way.
Yeah. Bella started studying for an upcoming exam and then took a break to call Jacob. When Jacob answered, he sounded like he had just woken up. But he perked up when Bella told him that she would be over the next day. He was already on summer break, so he told her to come as soon as she could.
Sorry, it's just, again, that's kind of one of those Midwestern, and at least how our families were raised. I would never, even to you, I wouldn't be like, I'm coming over tomorrow. Like, I can't, like, literally the only time.
Oh, yeah. We asked, like, hey, can I come over?
Yeah. There's been times when I've been like, hey, can I run by your house to use the restroom real quick? I'm stuck down here because the makeup trial ran long and I felt too awkward to ask if I could use the bathroom. But, like, it's totally fine if you say no. But, like, sorry. That's a me thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, granted, I knew one too many of bullies who did that. So that's why I'm kind of like,
Yeah,
don't
it
like.
is. But you're right, though. It's not Midwestern culture to just be like, hey,
Like,
stopping
maybe
by.
with your family, maybe if you're, like, super, super close.
That's never been a thing.
Yeah, I
Not for
don't.
me.
No,
Oh, no.
I don't. No, I even asked. No.
No.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, it's a weird thing. It's just a thing. I'm just looking for reasons to smack talk Bella.
The next day, Edward insisted on driving Bella to the borderline like a child going to the other parent. In the car, Edward abruptly stopped talking and Bella tells him to stop listening to Jacob. But Edward can't help it when he's shouting. He is certain that Jacob will mention it to her, though, so he won't tell her. Which is like, now that I know what I know, I'm looking back. Did Edward know all this was going to happen?
I don't know. We don't have Edward's perspective.
I know, but that's all I'm thinking. I'm like, Jacob's probably like in his head thinking about what he's going to say and what he's going to do. And Edward just, okay, whatever.
Ew. I'm just thinking when he's like hugged Bella and they had that whole measuring contest a couple of chapters back. I wonder if Jacob was being petty. And don't get me wrong, I don't condone petty. I myself can be petty. I wonder if he was like, I'm going to bring up every weird fantasy that I have had about Bella and I'm going to just like bomb him with it.
Uh-huh.
Sadistic. All right. Warranted.
In this case, yes. So Bella went to Jacob's car and got in. Jacob looked different, maybe sick. He insisted he's just tired and then asks what she wants to do. Bella Oh,
Wait.
I thought you were like...
Oh, no, sorry. I play with my rings.
Yeah.
I thought they couldn't get sick. I thought they were like inhumanly healthy now.
Pretty much, but Jacob said that he was fine. He was just tired.
Oh.
Bella thinks he looks sick.
Gotcha. Sorry, that's why I
Yep.
was like, wait, am I missing something? Because last time he was sick, we got the great movie theater scene in New Moon that I am still so mad the movie cut out.
I know. They cut out the real, what actually happened. They made something stupid.
They did, and just felt forced and out of character for Jacob, and I'm salty about that.
It was very forced. It was like they did it and we're like, but that's not Jacob. That's not Jacob at all.
Tell me you don't know the character or the source material without telling me you don't know.
Yeah. Bella tells him that they can go back to his place for now and ride bikes later. Billy is currently at the Clearwaters keeping Sue company. She's having some issues with her kids. Jacob is in a zombie-like state. He has only had about 6 hours of sleep between the past 2 nights. And in notes, I said, I feel that because I had several back-to-back really early shifts.
You're like, yep, been there.
Yep. So Sam is being difficult and making Jacob run double shifts for 2 weeks since Sam won't believe what Edward had told them. So Jacob is on his own. Jake assured her that it isn't a big deal, then asks if they know anything more about the visitor. When Bella says no, he says he'll be around then. Quote, hey, it's the least I can do. I offered eternal servitude, remember? I'm your slave for life. I don't want a slave. His eyes didn't open. What do you want, Bella? I want my friend Jacob, and I don't want him half dead, hurting himself in some misguided attempt. He cut me off. Look at it this way. I'm hoping I can track down a vampire I'm allowed to kill, okay? I didn't answer. He looked at me, peeking at my reaction. Kidding, Bella. End quote. But are ya?
Is he?
I don't think so.
Mm.
Jacob asks if she has any big graduation plans. Bella says nothing special, but tells him that Alice is throwing a graduation party for her that she has to go to. Bella watched a cooking show while Jacob slept, and Bella felt relaxed. She felt safer here than her own home. Bella's mind wandered, and she thought about how Edward told her not because she's scared. Bella thought it made sense to have Carlisle change her as soon as she graduated, but Edward was right. She wasn't ready, and she also wanted Edward to turn her. Quote, I don't even want to say this. Quote, I wanted his venom to poison my system. It would make me belong to him in a tangible, quantifiable way. End quote. Do we ignore and continue?
I want to commend your strength for delivering that line without any gags. Yeah, that is way too much to unpack.
Continue?
We have a lot to get in this episode, but just, you know us well enough by this point. You can probably guess what we're thinking.
Yeah. Bella knew that Edward would stick to his marriage clause, and Bella tried to imagine telling her friends and parents she would be getting married this summer.
Oh, that's the scary thing. Hey, I'm going to give up my life. Oh, that's fine. Hey, I'm going to get married. I'm a failure.
Priorities.
Therapy. Pot kettle, I know, but like therapy. Yeesh.
So Jacob turned in his sleep, and his arm went across Bella. It was hot and pinned Bella down. She tried to slip from under his arm, but Jacob's eyes snapped open, and he jumped to his feet, asking what happened. Bella apologizes for waking him, and Jacob apologizes for falling asleep. Bella is happy that he got to sleep a bit. She tried to tell him to go back to sleep, but he doesn't want to and asks if they can go outside to walk so he doesn't fall asleep again. She barely gets to come down here, and he's upset with himself for wasting all this time already. After walking, Jacob tells her that he wants to talk to her, but wanted to do things differently. Bella tells him to tell her. Jacob says he wants to tell her something she already knows, but he has to say it out loud so there won't be any confusion. Bella stopped walking, and Jacob turned to look into her eyes. Quote, I'm in love with you, Bella, Jacob said in a strong, sure voice. Bella, I love you, and I want you to pick me instead of him. I know you don't feel the same way, but I need the truth out there so you know your options. I wouldn't want a miscommunication to stand in the way. Stand in our way. Dear
Our
God.
way. Ooh, buddy, you making some assumptions. Although that is a very clear, healthy method of communicating, and that very much should be the thing. And I understand why he's saying that because of all the signals that he has gotten from her. But he does not know in her head there is no our future. Well, except for there was an our future thing. Bella,
I'm just double checking because there was a lot of typos in that for me. I wouldn't want a miscommunication to stand in our way. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I could see him saying our way.
Mm-hmm.
You know he thinks my Bella.
Well, he's her Jacob, so. Oh, but that was end of chapter 15 or 14, by the way. The biggest difference or the biggest shock factor to me, we all knew Jacob was in love with Bella. But knowing it and having Jacob say it.
Yes, yeah, no, it is just like when you tell a mom that her newborn is ugly, like, you know, you may know it because newborns can look like aliens, but you don't say it. Saying it's just something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell people that their babies are ugly ever.
It's a bad idea.
It's a very bad idea.
Very bad idea.
I'm not trying to get pregnant punched. Well, they're not pregnant at postpartum punched. There we go.
Mm-hmm. I can hear him from over here.
I can see him on the screen. He just looks so happy.
He's very content right now.
I'm happy. I'm glad you feel content with me.
All right. Well, are you ready for the chapter everybody has been waiting for?
He snuggled my hand. Sorry.
He's fallen asleep. Well, chapter 15, guys. Here you go. And I'm sorry, my reaction is not what you expected. I did record it, but it's not that great. So I am yet to decide if it's going to air or not.
That's valid.
Yeah. So chapter 15 is Wager. Bella stared at Jacob, dumbfounded. Bella starts to stammer that she has to go. Jacob grabs her shoulder and spins her around, saying he knows. He then asks if she wants to leave and never see him again. Of course not. But she doesn't want to see him for the same reasons that he wants Bella around. She wants him around because, quote, I miss you when you're not there. When you're happy, it makes me happy. I could say the same things about Charlie, Jacob, your family. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. End
Big
quote.
distinction.
It is a big distinction, but also, like, if we didn't have Bella's internal monologue here,
Oh, if we were Jacob, we'd be falling for it.
100%. That is, like, a green light. Like, green means go. Like,
Yeah, everything up to this point has been green means go.
yes.
Like, it's...
Yeah, and that's the big thing, which I feel like a lot of people don't fully grasp. Like, if you're in Jacob's shoes, you don't know what Bella's actually thinking. You're not a mind reader for whatever, but you can't read her mind. So if you take all that internal dialogue away, think about all you have left.
Yeah. Especially think about the fact that this relationship of theirs, friendship, really like restarted because, like, yeah, they knew each other when they were making mud pies when they were little, but like they re-meet again when she's 17 and he's 15.
Mm-hmm. And then, like, in, dear God, what book was it? New Moon, when they basically have a kiss in the kitchen.
In the movie, it looks like a kiss.
Was, yeah.
In the book, it's not written like that. But...
No, but like, if you're Jacob, it's like you basically had her, and then Eddie Boy comes back and takes her away, and is like making all these decisions and holding her hostage and doing all this crap. But then when they get to see each other, she's like holding his hand. She's snuggling and falling asleep in his arms. Like, she's saying, I'm with this guy, but I actually want to be with you.
Oh, yeah. The mixed of the mixedest signals.
Exactly.
That sentence was mixed up.
You got there, though. Yeah.
I got there in the same way Jacob did. Reasonably trying to follow what the signals were.
Yeah. I can go on and on about this, to be honest, but we'll get her. we'll get there. Here, I said we'll get her. We'll get her. We'll get there. So Jacob clarifies she still wants him around, though. She does. Bella asks if he thinks he could behave a little better, at least. No, she has to decide she can have him, all of him, the way he is, or not at all.
I mean, I get where he's coming from on that one, and I don't want to say that's a good or a bad sentence, but when you start getting into ultimatums like that, it's a little tricky.
I get it, but at this point, I feel like Jacob has earned the right for an ultimatum.
Oh, yes. I'm speaking not in context, but in, like, general, abstract.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I should rephrase.
Yeah. Sorry.
Like, in my brain, I'm always looking at this from the abstract because, again, my big focus on all this is, oh my God, this was put towards impressionable preteens and teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, boys and girls, children of all ages that should probably not be watching this, or actually you should if you're still reading Twilight and thinking it's okay. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Healthy communication Love yourself first. Fix your own insecurities instead of trying to find someone to fix it for you. Unless that someone is your therapist. Licensed. Legit.
Yes.
Not your buddy with booze.
I love the need to clarify there.
Well, you know, in today's world.
You gotta. Yes, they are. Okay.
Here. Camera.
Yeah. Yay, thank you.
Aha. Getting better at the foot adjustments.
Bella tells him that's mean, but he says
No.
she is too.
Yeah.
And Bella agrees.
Just because you're self-aware doesn't mean it negates your red flag status, okay?
Jacob laughs and tells her he forgives her, but try to not be too mad at him. He's decided that he won't give up on her.
Hi, friends. PSA. No means no. No does not mean try again. Ladies, if you think no means try again, see my previous PSA. Get therapy. No means no. Not try harder.
I get it, but in context of this book, in context of only this book, not real life,
Yes.
context of only this book here, I get it though.
Oh, I get it. I get it. Again, I just have to sit here from the abstract. I'm totally my mother right now. Oh my God.
Yep. Nope. And all that I will be talking about is for this book and this book only. So we're not going to be talking about real life here because this is awful for real life.
The funny thing is, in real life, you are probably way stricter with red flags than I am. Oh, that's a role reversal.
Which is why Connie and her cousin thought that I would have such a great reaction to this and that I would flip out and all of a sudden be like, I hate Jacob, blah, blah, blah.
We forgot the type of books that you read, which is not a judgment because we read the same books.
That, but also, we'll get into it. I'm sorry. We are jumping ahead. All right. So Bella reminds him she loves Edward, but he reminds her that she loves him also. Him as in Jacob.
Yeah, but there's different types of love.
He knows it's not the same way she loves him, but he isn't her whole life. So Jacob will be here fighting for her until her heart stops beating. Bella tells him time is almost over. Jacob tells her all the more reason to fight harder. Bella sees what's about to happen and tries to say no, but Jacob kisses her and has such a tight grip on her that she can't escape. Bella tried to shove against him, but he didn't seem to notice. Bella ended up essentially going limp and just waited for him to stop. Eventually, Jacob lets go of her, and Bella asks if he's done. He sighs and says yes. Bella punches him in the face with all the force that she could come up with. There is a crunching sound, and Bella started to scream. Jacob asks if she's okay. She isn't. He broke her hand. Jacob points out that she broke her own hand, then asks to look at it. Bella tells him not to touch her. Jacob calmly tells her he'll get his car, but Bella hisses no, she'd rather walk. Jacob insists on driving her home. He puts an arm around her waist and Bella jerks away. Quote, fine, I growled. Do. I can't wait to see what Edward does to you. I hope he snaps your neck, you pushy, obnoxious, moronic dog. End quote.
Oh, again with the word. I don't like the dog.
Yep. Nope. Yep.
Also, sorry, didn't mean to traumatize you. Your eyes are wide open.
The cat.
Yeah, the cat. He's staring at me like I have crack and we're outside Walmart at 2 a.m. Eye twitch really completes that. So does the absence of pupils. No. Nope. Even reading this the first time, nope. I'm sorry. I don't like it. I don't like it because she was so clear that she didn't want it. And also, if a girl is pushing you away, not pushing up against you, pushing you away while you're kissing her after she said she doesn't like you like that, and then she goes limp and you just keep going, Assault? Battery? Yeah.
Granted, in my mind, well, I agree. I'm not disagreeing.
Yes,
I am not
again,
disagreeing.
context, real life.
Yes. With Jacob's werewolf strength, he is pulling her toward him. He couldn't feel the punch at all. So could he actually feel her pushing against him?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you son of a biscuit. I'm going to have to speak well of Edward here, and it pains me physically. Edward, despite his many flaws, he's always been very receptive to any like pushback that she's doing, the lightest touch, anything else. And like he arguably has more animal instinct trying to take over with the whole like lusting after her blood thing.
No, I get it. I do, but also Edward has more experience being a vampire and being in that superhuman strength category. So he's had the time to adjust to those very subtle movements.
He does. But I swear there was something where Bella was like lightly touching his arm or something in one of the sweet moments in New Moon. And like Jacob was like, "Oh, I feel that." Maybe that was in
I
like
think
one of
that
the
was
side.
before he was a werewolf, though. Was it
After?
Because
like
I don't remember that.
this could have been one of those like it's the side like push off one of the videos things.
Oh, okay. I don't think
Yeah,
I'm not recalling what you're talking about. That was after he
valid.
became a wolf.
Yeah, but I'm like, no, like he can still feel touch and all that. Like, no, I'm sorry. Nope. I'm not
Okay.
buying it.
Well,
I'm not buying
I don't know.
like Jacob. I'm not excusing it in this context. But again, I'm such a staunch proponent of bodily autonomy that I'm like, I can't even suspend it in this context.
I do want to throw out there, this is not okay. Nothing about this is okay.
I'm not saying Jess is saying it's okay. We both know it's not okay.
I know. I'm like, because I can see what's coming up in my notes and I can see this conversation continuing. So this is not okay. No means no. Do not assault people. Do not do stuff to people. Yeah. But for this context, because it's a book, it is not real life. This is a story.
Fiction suspending reality. Well, that's hypocritical because I can't seem to do that over here.
But like, am I going to hold this against Jacob
Yes.
for the book? Me personally? No, I don't have a problem with this. I'm sorry. For the book, I can't say that too many times.
Yeah,
for the book.
For the book. For the book. For the book. If you have a question, for the book.
For the book.
For the book.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to continue because we're going to keep going.
We're going to keep going. I'm going to rip somebody a new one. Not you. Fictional character.
Jacob rolled his eyes and walked Bella to the passenger side door and helps her in. Bella asks if she hurt him at all. Jacob wouldn't have figured out that she was trying to punch him if it weren't for her starting to scream. Quote, "I hate you, Jacob Black." That's good. Hate is a passionate emotion. You'll love this. I'll give you passionate, I muttered under my breath. Murder, the ultimate crime of passion.
I mean, terrible. I'm just saying, if I've ever seen myself in Bella at any time, it would be there.
Jacob tells her to just think about it and how things could be with him. Charlie would be happy and he could protect her from the vampires. He can give her so much more than Edward can. He also has never hurt Bella. Bella holds up her hand and Jacob sighs. That wasn't his fault. She should have known better.
Oh, you know how your thing is like chill out? Should have known better? That's mine.
Like, don't try to punch non-human beings because they're apparently like a stone wall.
Yep, like I get it. Even if it's true, don't say it. Because the second someone says to me, like, what'd you learn? Or you should have known better, I'm like, oh, we fighting today. That's what we're doing. We are not resolving this in a peaceable manner.
We're hitting the trigger words of childhood because mine is calm down and yours are what you learn.
What'd you learn? Yeah. Should have. Yep. That definitely explains our different reactions to things. Where I'm like, whoo, don't Johnny has learned that one with me. Where he will never say what'd you learn or you should have known.
Yeah.
Props to him. He picked that up really quick because I was like, Don't say that.
That's
Don't
good.
say that. He never did it again. Even though I can tell he's thinking it, but he's smart enough not to say it.
Well, as long as you don't say it.
Exactly.
So
Back to Jacob.
Bella tells him she can't be happy without Edward. Jacob disagrees. She hasn't ever tried. She could be happy with him. Edward left her once and he can do it again. Bella tells Jacob he won't, then points out that Jacob has left her once before as well. Jacob argued that he didn't. He was told it wasn't safe for Bella if they were together, but he never left. He would run around her house at night just like he does now to ensure that she was okay. Bella tells him to just take her home. When they get to Charlie's, Bella climbs out and tells Jacob to go home. But Jacob goes and holds the front door open for her. Charlie greets them and asks what's wrong with Bella. Jacob tells him that she thinks she broke her hand from trying to hit him. Quote, Charlie laughed too, and I scowled at him while I beat the tray against the edge of the sink. The ice scattered inside the basin, and I grabbed a handful with my good hand and wrapped the cubes in a dishcloth on the counter. Quote, oh wait, I was already quoting. Why did she hit you? Because I kissed her, Jacob said, unashamed. Good for you, kid, Charlie congratulated him. End quote. Bella dialed Edward's number and he answered on the first ring. She asks if he can come get her. So Carlisle can look at her hand. I'm pulling out the book, and you can say whatever is on your mind while I find my pages.
Plenty.
I know, which is why I just kept talking.
Yep. Charlie, honey, sweetie, I've been on your team this entire time. When someone kisses your daughter, your only daughter, your only child, mind you, and she's injured and obviously not happy about it, not the proper response. Now, is he right there? He was a man before he was a dad. He was a male before he was a dad, and I'm like, you were still supposed to be a dad.
Mm-hmm. He's also so biased.
He's so biased, and I get it. And he could argue, I'm biased as a dad. I'm like, doesn't matter. Your priority should be Bella. And her immediate well-being in that moment. She was hurt. And as a cop, he should know the elements of assault and battery. Inner peace.
It's a book.
It's a book. Why does this get under my skin? Because it was under my skin at a formative age. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alrighty. You ready?
Nope, let's go.
What happened? Edward demanded, his voice going flat. I punched Jacob, I admitted. Good, Edward said bleakly. Though I'm sorry you're hurt. I laughed once because he sounded as pleased as Charlie had. I wished I'd hurt him, I said in frustration. I didn't do any damage at all. I can fix that, he offered. I was hoping you would say that. There was a slight pause. That doesn't sound like you, he said, weary now. What did he do? He kissed me, I growled. I heard on the other end of the line was the sound of an engine accelerating. In the other room, Charlie spoke again. Maybe you ought to take off, Jake, he suggested. I think I'll hang out here if you don't mind. Your funeral, Charlie muttered. Is the dog still there? Edward finally spoke again. Yes. I'm around the corner, he said darkly, and the line disconnected.
This might be one of the few times I'm really rooting on Team Edward right now. It's a rare occasion. Savor it. It's going to be gone.
Here's the thing. In my mind, yes, don't kiss people or do anything physical to don't do anything to anybody if they're not consenting to it.
Affirmatively consenting.
Yes. Now, all the crap that Edward's done.
Oh, this does not whitewash him, absolve him of sin in any way, shape, or form. I'm just choosing the lesser of two evils right now.
I still disagree with you on there, but it's a book. We can disagree. It's fine.
The only thing in our friendship we disagree about is the book.
if that's the worst, it's fine.
We're good. I just can't.
And again, in real life, yes, we would align.
Oh, you'd be pitchforks and stakes raised before I would.
Mm-hmm.
See, we agree on the things.
Mm-hmm.
Again, just in the book, which is a safe place to work out these ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And Stephanie Meyer is our punching bag.
Yep.
But she brought this into the world.
When Bella hangs up the phone, Charlie asks about her hand and suggests that she should pick on people her own size.
Like what, a fourth grader? She's tiny.
I know. He then asks to look at it and says he thinks that she's right about the break. Quote, "I'm proud of you. You must have put some force behind this." "As much as I have," I sighed. "Not enough, apparently." He kissed my hand softly. "I'll take care of it."
That's really nice, but also her hand is going to be hurting like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen someone with a broken limb want it to be kissed? Prior to it being set and taken care of?
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I would probably. All right, judgment reserved.
Mm-hmm. That was end quote, by the way.
Ah.
Edward arrived and Charlie tells the boys, but while looking only at Edward, that he doesn't want any fighting. He can go put his badge on if that would make his request more official. Edward says that isn't necessary. Bella suggests that Charlie arrest her. She was the one throwing punches after all.
Bella, shut it.
Charlie asks Jacob if he wants to press charges. He doesn't. Quote, "I'll take the trade any day." Edward grimaced. "Dad, don't you have a baseball bat somewhere in your room? I want to borrow it for a minute." End quote.
Oh, Bella, honey, I'm loving you right now.
Charlie tells her enough, and Edward pulls Bella to the door, saying that they will go have Carlisle look at her. Jacob followed them outside despite Charlie's protests. Edward ignored Jacob until Bella was in the car and calmly tells him he won't kill him because Bella would be upset about it, or at least she would in the morning. If Jacob ever brings her back damaged again, no matter whose fault it is, quote, "You will be running with 3 legs. Do you understand that, mongrel?" End quote.
Ooh, again, a racial term. I get it, but we don't like it. But I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't like it.
Jacob asks if she wants him to. Or Jacob asks, what if she wants him to? Edward shrugs that if that's what she wants, he won't object. But he should still wait for her to verbally say it rather than trust his interpretation of body language. I agree, though. Yeah. Yeah.
Even in context and book, yeah.
Yeah. Before leaving, Edward slowly says he'll be fighting for her too, and he will be fighting twice as hard as Jacob. Jacob growls good. It's not fun beating someone who forfeits. Edward's voice grows dark as he tells Jacob she is his and he won't fight fair. They both offer each other best of luck. Edward gets in his car and starts to drive. He asks about her hand and Bella tells him she's had worse.
Yeah.
She has had worse.
Yeah, book
a lot
1.
Worse. When they get to the Cullens, Emmett and Rosalie were in the garage. Emmett asks if Bella fell again. Quote, "No, Emmett, I punched a werewolf in the face." End quote.
Well, that's earning her respect from Rosalie and Emmett.
Emmett laughed, and Rosalie smugly said Jasper will win the bet. Bella questioned this, and Edward tries to get her inside. Bella insists, and Edward tells her Emmett and Jasper have a bet on how many times Bella will slip up in the first year, and Rosalie thinks her temper will turn the odds in Jasper's favor. He's betting high. Edward reminds her she doesn't have to worry about this now, or ever really if she doesn't want to. Carlisle confirmed that her hand was broken, but no serious damage was done. Bella refused to cast, so after promising to keep it on, he put her in a brace. We're not even going to touch on that.
I was going to say, this seems so wrong.
It is. We're not even going to touch on it.
Okay. Okay.
While Carlisle worked on fitting the brace to her hand, Bella thought on how she would be as a vampire, how different everything would be. She trusted Edward to keep her from doing anything she regretted. Edward currently was ensuring that she wouldn't miss out on anything while still being human, but Bella didn't think that there were many experiences that she was worried about missing. Quote, "As long as I got to be with Edward, what else could I ask for?" I stared at his face while he watched Carlisle fix my hand. There was nothing in this world that I wanted more than him. Could that change? Was there a human experience that I was not willing to give up? End quote. And end of chapter 15.
I mean, in that moment, what could you want more? A titanium baseball bat? Vampire strength to beat the crap out of a certain somebody? Like, this girl's thinking small.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, as of right now, yes, I did record my reaction to chapter 15. After us talking, I don't think I'm going to release it because it's been the same. And I feel like my reaction was a huge letdown.
No, you're good.
So, I can post it. It's edited and ready. So if you guys want it, let me know. And I can post it as a bonus. Yeah. Yep. Any final thoughts on 15?
Well, that was a roller coaster. And I do feel like I should clarify at this point. We are talking in the context of this book a lot. We do not condone violence. We do not say that you should be using violence as a means against your attacker. Please be smart. If you're in a bad situation, call the police. Let them handle it. And just work out your issues through therapy. I think that's what we should say.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, it's a book. It's a book.
It's a book.
Everything we're talking about is with context of the book and the book only.
Yes. Book. In the book. Today's theme in the book. Yeah. It's fine. Any final thoughts from you before we wrap her up?
I think I've said everything I need to say in this episode.
Well, on that pleasant note, we will see y'all next week. Leave your reactions in the comments. What do you think about all this? Are you like, woo, go Jacob? Or are you like, boo, Jacob, yay, Edward, bad Edward? What do we think of Charlie's response? What do we think of Jess's shirt?
Team Charlie. Thank you, Jody.
See it? Just let us know what you think. As usual, do not leave any spoilers because Jess does not know what happens in this series. She's reading it for the first time. Don't you dare give away those big plot points. On that note, I think that's everything.
That's all I got.
See you next week.
Bye.
What a Frida.